Hello, Cooper Clever 1972 here, also known as Brian, with his Brian's 31 Days of Halloween. This is Belated Day 18. Um, so there are I've got two more belated days to fill, which is rather today. Technically, it's a Saturday, but it's 1:49 in the morning, so it's a Sunday and Friday. Um, and Yeah, let's see, 20th, 18. Yeah, I think, um, let me, am I doing this correctly? 18, 19, 20, 19, 20. Yeah, after this one, I have three films to catch up, with the marathon. If I go into tomorrow, Sunday, um, I don't think I'm going to do another one tonight because it's 1:50 in the morning. Um, a friend of my cousin's coming to my place to remove my air conditioner from the window because it's really heavy air conditioner. Um, he's coming in the afternoon, but I don't want to stay up all night long and load up another video to YouTube. I am going to do another video to YouTube tonight, which is some Blu-rays and a DVD pickup. But that'll only take a few minutes, whereas a review will take a little longer. So enough of that. Let's get to the movie. This is Belated Day 18, and the movie's Captivity. It's from this set called Eight Films to Die For, and I think I have another one of these Eight Films to Die For series. I can't remember the title, and I don't know if I'll watch that one or not, but we'll see. The byline, the subtitle, when you think the worst has happened. So it's about this young woman. She's a model. She does her model shoot at the start of the film. She's brought her dog with her, and then she goes to this club, and somebody puts some drugs her martini. She collapses, and then she wakes up in a place where she doesn't know where she is. Um, and there's this person that's subjecting her to lots of torture. So, like, you'll see gore in it, and you'll see. I don't want to give too much away, but like, maybe as a warning for people that don't like gory stuff. Like, for example, there's a scene with some severed limbs that are put into a food blender, and she won't drink the she's bolted down to a chair, and she won't drink the liquid, the liquefied limbs. So what the guy does is her abductor. What he does is she, she's got her mouth closed, so he puts his fingers on her nose so she breathes out, and then he puts a funnel in her neck and in her mouth, and puts he shoves a funnel in her mouth and pours the blender of all these body parts down her throat. So that's sort of what you're going to see in this film. There's a scene that, I mean, you know, as I mentioned last night, there was was it last night? I think it was last night. The last video that I did on here on YouTube. But in that particular video, I mean not video, the movie, these animals I thought were treated horrendously, and I really didn't like that. And in this particular movie, it's a little better taste, but um, the abductor he has her dog in a cage, like a glass cage, and she's bolted down again because he keeps on drugging her or like putting um, like this cloth with liquid on it over her mouth to knock her out. And she has to choose. There's a sign that says choose either between your dog or yourself. And she pulls the trigger and she thinks she's killed the dog. And then she sees her dog a little later on. So if you don't like that, if you don't like blended body parts being thrust down a woman's throat, then you're probably not going to enjoy this movie. And it, because she's a model, and I guess like she feels entitled and everything. Maybe this particular model, they're showing clips of her interviews, and I don't know if models would actually talk like that. Conceited and self-centered and all that. I'm not quite sure all models are like that, but well, maybe if you are, I don't know, but and she finds herself in this set of rooms with all these locked doors and everything. It does remind me a lot of Saw. Maybe it's a knockoff of Saw, could be, but so she meets another she meets another person who's also a prisoner of the abductor, and it's a man. But things are not what they seem. Let's put it that way, in more than one sense. And then as at a certain point in the film, they think that they're going to get out, but she and the other abductee get thrown back into the. This person has a wine cellar, and that's where it's been constructed in such a way with cameras and electric doors and things. So, it's pretty watertight and seal tight. The police come looking for her. You hear on the television while you're watching the movie that this model has been missing for like 4 days or 3 days. And just what you think is going to happen turns out to be not quite the case, which is a good thing in a way. Not in a way. I think it is an interesting way to take the film. If you watch it, don't take it for granted what happens, because you're in for a surprise. It's going to go what is that? 180. It's going to go in another direction before you know it. Well, yeah, a little further in, and then things complicate themselves even more with the cops coming on the scene, and so she eventually she finds out what's really happening, and she has a hard time getting out of the place that she's in, and I'll leave it at that. I think that's enough information. I think this is a good film, not a great film. Maybe Saw is better. Yeah, Saw is better, I think. But it's not a bad movie, even though it's sort of, I think it's sort of modeled after Saw. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I think I got it for $1 if you see there. Take the glare off, because I got this, I think, at the library where I work. In the basement, they sell used DVDs and Blu-rays of new DVDs and Blu-rays, and I think this is where I picked this up. In any event, I'm going to give this out of 5 stars, 3 stars being a marginal thumbs up and 2.5 stars a marginal thumbs down. I might give it 3.5, because I think it's a little better than good. It's not excellent, which would be a 4, but I think the way it twists and turns and the way you find out what really is going on then it really makes it pretty interesting, So I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. Some other things to talk about. I got with my not my Barnes and Noble gift certificates. When I spend up to $2,500 on my Barnes and Noble credit card, I get a $25 Barnes and Noble gift certificate. So I bought, well, technically I didn't buy because I was using the gift certificates, and I only had to use the remainder, which is a few bucks. But I bought 2 Blu-rays with that, which I'll show in probably the next video coming up. And then I have a DVD that I got for free, and I'll show that too. And then just check out my blog, poolsofvisionsblogspot.com. As this video is going on, you'll see it come on before the end of the video. And also check out my GarageBand videos, and there'll be a sign there to tell you to watch that. And that, I guess that just about does it. I chose this movie because it was 85 minutes. I'm trying to catch up. So I'm trying to watch films that are a little shorter, but I think a lot of horror movies are kind of hour-and-a-half length movies. But I don't know. I mean, does anybody know of a 3-hour horror film or a 4-hour horror film? I guess there is maybe, but I mean, The Shining is 2 hours and 18 minutes, or 2 hours and something like that, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Maybe that doesn't make sense. Maybe there are films that horror movies I'm referring to that go way over the 90-minute mark. So I told you I was going to watch some George Romero. I probably am. I'll be watching Day of the Dead, because even though I've seen it, I haven't seen it in a long time. It'll prepare me for Land of the Dead and Diary of the Dead. And I just remembered today that my cousin had a copy of the new Omen. Julia Stiles is in it, and he had it on Blu-ray, my cousin, and he gave it to me because he didn't have a Blu-ray player. So maybe I'll watch that. They say the remake of The Omen's pretty good, and I didn't think of that until today, I don't know how it came into my head, but I thought of it. So I guess that about covers it, and watch some scary movies. See you soon. Bye.